everyone, thanks for joining me today. My name is Kelly and I've got a really fun mat Pilates class for you today. So let's get started. We're going to start in a seated position with our legs extended fully about the width of the mat and dorsiflexion in the ankles. So that means pulling the toes back towards the knees. If you're like me and you've got really tight hamstrings, you can see I'm having trouble keeping a neutral spine here. So I'm just going to give a little bend to the knees to help me sit up a little taller. If you've got tight hip flexors, you can also sit up on a book or a block to help you get into that neutral spine a little bit better. So we're going to start just by moving the spine, getting a little motion going. So we're going to have the arms out to the sides in the letter T, dropping the shoulders down the back, closing the rib cage. We're going to take a nice big inhale as you rotate to one side so the hips are stable, just the torso is rotating. And then on the exhale, you're going to reach that pinky finger down towards your pinky toe, just getting a nice reach in there. And then we'll stack the spine back up and rotate back to center. So other side here. We're gonna rotate, reach the pinky finger towards the pinky toe, come back up to center, and then middle. So we're gonna rotate, reach, roll up, and come to center. So we're trying to keep those hips stable and just rotate this torso here. And we're trying to keep the pelvis vertical. So we're trying to keep this really tall and just move from the upper body to reach. Trying to get just a little movement in that spine here. Reaching the crown of the head towards your pinky toe. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time. And we exhale, reach, roll it up, and center. So let's go for one more set here. We reach, roll, come back up, stack the spine, rotate center. Last one here, and we reach, and roll up, and back to center. Arms come down. Let's bend the knees, bringing the feet flat. We're going to scooch a little closer towards your heels. The feet are going to be hip distance apart. And if you need a ball between your knees to help keep those knees stable and take it out of the hip flexors, you can put a ball or a pillow between the knees here. Sitting up nice and tall, arms extend out, dropping the shoulders down. Big inhale, exhale, tuck the pelvis, rounding back, trying to reach the tag of your pants towards the mat. So you've got a nice hollow scooped out belly here, ribs are closing. Again, you can squeeze a ball or a pillow if you need to take it out of the hip flexors here. Big inhale, and then exhale, rounding all the way up, and we'll sit up tall at the top. So you exhale, hollow the belly, rounding back. Inhale, hold. Exhale, rounding all the way forward. And inhale, sit up top. So we're trying to keep those feet really heavy on the mat. The shoulders are plugged down the back. And that low belly, the core is doing all the work to pull you back up over the legs. Again, trying to stay out of the hip flexors here. Pulling those ribs in. Exhale, roll forward. Inhale, tall. Let's just do a few more here, warming up that core. Big inhale at the bottom, using the core, not momentum, to roll forward and sit it up nice and tall. Exhale, hollow back. Inhale, pull the ribs and hold. Exhale, round it forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Let's do 3 more like this. Exhale, back. Inhale, stay. Exhale, core, not momentum, brings you forward. Inhale, tall. And we go back. Big inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, articulate back. Last one here. Exhale, round. Inhale, hold. Exhale, roll it forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Let's take this next one back for a hold. So exhale, round it back, hollow the belly, hold here at the bottom, closing the ribs. We're going to rotate towards one side. So I'm going to take my left and right hand outside of my right knee. Let's make sure those knees are staying hip distance apart, not knocking in towards each other. So the hips are square, but the torso is rotated. From here, the arms lift up and lower down. We'll exhale, lift, inhale, lower. So you've got that nice rotation through the torso, but not the hips. The knees are staying hip distance apart. Again, go ahead and throw something between the knees if you need to. Feet are nice and heavy, and shoulders are pulling down as the arms reach up. Last one here, we lift up, lower down, arms come up to neutral, back to center, right over to the other side. So rotating, we're going to keep those knees nice and hip distance apart, Hips are square. We're going to exhale as we lift. Inhale as you lower. So those ribs are still trying to close down. Should really feel those obliques turning on here. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Feet are anchored. Shoulders pulling down as the arms reach. Let's go for 2. Last one here. Lower the arms first. Bring them back up to neutral. Center. And then we finish the exercise by pulling ourselves all the way back over the legs and sitting up top. Let's round all the way back down onto our back. So we're going to take a big inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, rounding back, keeping those feet heavy as the tail tucks, and we go all the way back down. Arms come down by the sides. We're going to walk those feet in closer to our seat again for our shoulder bridge. So again, we're going to have those legs about hip distance apart. We're going to start in a neutral spine. Toes are facing forward, arms are down. Again, if you need a block or a pillow or a ball between the knees here to help you keep alignment from the knees and the ankles, go ahead and do so. I'm going to take a big inhale. On the exhale, we're going to tuck the pelvis, find a nice imprinted spine first, closing the ribcage, and then roll the tailbone all the way up to the sky, finding a shoulder bridge. So you want one long line from shoulder to knee. Go ahead and take those hands, and I just want you to touch your hamstrings. So I want you to touch those hamstrings and see that they're fired up. Are they on? If they're on, go ahead and take those hands back down to the mat. Take a big inhale here at the top. On the exhale, lead with the sternum as you lengthen through the spine and articulate down one vertebrae at a time, all the way down until the tailbone hits, and we release to neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, find imprint first. Press into the feet to roll the hips to the sky. Reaching the hips up and reaching through the knees. Big inhale at the top. Closing the ribcage. Lead with the sternum as you exhale. And slowly articulate down, lengthening the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Release to neutral at the bottom. Inhale here. Exhale, press into the feet, turn on the back of the legs, rolling those hips to the sky. Inhaling at the top, close the ribs. Exhale, slowly roll it down, one vertebrae at a time. Let's do 2 more like this. Inhale. Exhale, roll it up. Inhale at the top. And exhale, articulate down. If you want a little more here, you can bring the arms up to the sky without that base of support from the arms. You'll have to work just a little harder. And exhale, round it down. All the way down to the mat here. Arms come down to the sides. Let's find a neutral spine. So this time we're just going to lift the hips straight up. So no rolling, no articulation. Hips just lift up. They're going to lower down and come just 2 inches above the mat. And exhale, lift back up. So it's just a lower and lift of the hips, maintaining that neutral spine, turning on the back of the legs, the glutes and hamstrings to lift the hips. Keep reaching through those knees, closing the ribs. Again, you're welcome to bring the arms to the sky if you want a little bit more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's go for 2. Last one here, lift and hold. So you've got that nice high shoulder bridge, one long line from shoulder to knee. From here, you're going to come up onto the toes, lifting the heels, lower the heels, lift the heels, lower the heels. So trying to lift those heels at the same time. And we're still lifting those hips up. So the glutes and hamstrings are on. You should really feel a little burn here already. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Just a few more here. Let's go for 5 more, why not? Keep lifting those hips up, turning the glutes and hamstrings on. For 3 and 2. Last one, lift. Lower the heels, hips are high, and then place the hips right back down. Let's hug the knees under the chest, give a little rock side to side. From here, we're going to take those legs to tabletop. So big inhale. Exhale, bring one leg to tabletop. Inhale. Exhale, other leg comes up, and we simultaneously imprint the spine. So you have that nice imprinted spine where there's no space between the low back and the mat. The ribs are pulling in, and those knees are right over the hips. From here, we're going to take the arms up to a letter T. So you can press the hands into the floor. We'll take a big inhale as you take those knees towards the side. So I'm going to go to my left side first. My right hip's gonna lift up, but my right shoulder is gonna stay down. So I'm gonna stop here because this is where I feel just a whole lot of work. My core is engaged, and then I'm gonna exhale, bring the legs back through center. Let's do the other side. Inhale, knees rotate over, the hip lifts, but the shoulders stay down. And then exhale, pull those knees back through center. We're gonna keep alternating sides here. You can go at your own pace. The important thing here is that we're using the core in both directions. So the core is helping you control the knees down to the side, and then the obliques are pulling you back up to center. So you're not letting momentum take over here. Shoulders stay down, exhale back to center. So it takes a really lot of control here from the core so that you're not just letting gravity drop those knees down all the way to the mat. And exhale, center. Just taking this at your own pace. And you don't have to go that far down to the side. If you feel like you're losing control, you can stop at any time, whatever's best for your body. One more here. Let's make sure you're even. Exhale, center. Let's go to that first side and hold. So I'm heading to my left. This is where I started. I'm going to hold here. I'm going to extend the legs out. I'll bend the knees and then bring them back through center. Heading to the opposite side. We rotate, extend, bend, and come through center. So let's just keep going like this at your own pace. If you feel like this is too much on your body this morning, you can go ahead and stay in those tabletop legs. So again, just working whatever's best for your body today. We're going to inhale to the side, extend, bend, exhale, center. Rotate, extend, bend, and center. Making sure those shoulders are still staying down. Hips can come up, but shoulders stay down. Press, bend, exhale, center. Let's do one more on each side. Take your time. You can always come back and do more later if you'd like. Obliques should really be turned on by now. And center. Let's go back to that first side and hold. This time I'm going to extend my legs, keep them extended, bring them up through center, pass through the middle, and over to the other side. So you've got the same thing here, just with extended legs, and that longer lever is going to make this a lot more challenging on those obliques. Again, if this is too much for you today, go ahead and take it back down to that tabletop position, or you can go ahead and go back to that bend and extend. Now, the lower those legs go towards the floor here, the more challenging it will be as well. So if you want to take it up a notch, you can lower those legs down a little further. Let's do 2 more sets. Exhale, comes to the middle. Inhale to the side. Exhale, obliques work really hard to pull you up. Last side here. Exhale to the middle. Inhale to the side. Make sure you're even. Exhale back up. And bend the knees into the chest. Give those knees a hug, a little rock side to side. All right, let's take both legs back to tabletop. Again, finding that imprint in the spine. We're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders, reaching the fingertips towards the ankles, pulling those ribs down, drop the shoulders right into our double leg stretch. We inhale as we reach the arms and legs. Exhale, circle the arms, bend the knees. Inhale, reach. Exhale, circle and come in. If this is too much for you, you can keep the chest down and do just the legs. That's always an option. If you want it more challenging, as you take the legs out, they go closer towards the floor. So the goal of this exercise is to keep that imprint and keep the chest lifted the whole time. Imagine you've got an apple under your chin, so you've got the chin off the chest. And we exhale, circle. Just a few more here for 4. And exhale, 3. Inhale, exhale, 2. Last one here. And all the way in, hug those knees, lower the chest. Give those knees a little rock side to side. Taking the legs straight up to the sky. So again, we want that nice imprinted spine. If you've got tight hamstrings like me, I'm just gonna give a slight bend in the knees, just so it's a little more comfortable on my body. Arms come down by the sides, pulling those ribs in. Just a nice lower lift here. So we're gonna lower the legs down just until you can maintain that imprint. Exhale, low belly pulls the legs back up to the sky. Inhale, lower. Exhale, low belly pulls up. So options here. You can bend the knees to tabletop. That'll lessen the load for you. Or if you want more, you can lift the head, neck, and shoulders. The lower the legs go, the more challenging it will be. But remember, we only want to go as far as you can keep that low back touching the mat. So you have that nice imprinted spine the whole time. That exhale turns on that low belly to pull the legs up. You don't have to go too far to feel the work here. I know I'm feeling it. Exhale, come up. Let's do 3 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, pull it up. Last 2. Exhale, lift. Try to keep that tension out of the neck and shoulders. Last one, pull all the way up. Keep those legs lifted. Open the legs about hip distance apart and reach those legs up. Again, I have a little bend in the knees just because it's more comfortable for me. Arms come up to the sky. We're going to lift the head, neck, and shoulders, and I'm going to reach that right hand towards my left ankle. Come back to center, keeping the chest lifted. Reach the left hand towards the right ankle. So just like we did in our saw earlier, we're reaching the pinky finger towards the pinky toe. Inhale, exhale, reach. Exhale, reach. Inhale, center. You're still in that nice imprinted spine. And just lifting as high as you can. You might not reach the ankle, that's okay. Plug those shoulders down the back. If you're feeling any tension in the neck, you can bring the hands behind the head and reach the elbow towards the ankle. Just a few more here. And reach. Exhale, reach. Can we pick up the pace? Reach, 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 reach. Let's go for 3. And 2. Last set here, make sure you're even. Head the knees into the chest. Nice little rock side to side. And let's go ahead and roll over onto our stomach. So we just did all of that outward. So we're gonna turn around onto our bellies and work the back of the body so that we can even everything out. So I'm gonna open my legs about hip distance apart, stacking my hands on top of each other, drawing the shoulders down the back. We'll place the forehead onto the hands. So you're gonna press the pubic bone into the mat, pull the ribs off the mat so the belly button is lifted. You're gonna take a nice deep inhale, pressing the feet into the floor. On the exhale, you're gonna lift just the upper body. So exhale, lift. Inhale, control it down. So you're drawing the shoulders down the back to lift, lower with control. So you really want that belly pulling up and in away from the mat to protect the low back, and that pubic bone pressing down. So you're trying to pull those shoulders down the back to lift the chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. 2 more here. Reach. And lower. Last one here. Reach. And lower. Let's extend the arms fully so they're overhead. You're going to karate chop the mat, pressing the pinky side of the hand down into the floor. Reaching those legs long. From here, we're going to take a big inhale. Draw the shoulders down the back. Exhale, lift the entire body. So the head, neck, and shoulders, the arms, and the legs. The belly button's pulling up. The only thing that's down is that pubic bone. So you're going to take this into a little swimming. So you're going to lift the opposite arm and leg a little higher, and then switch. So the arms and legs stay lifted. You're just reaching one arm and leg a little higher. You're looking about 2 inches in front of your nose. The back of the neck is long. And we're going to exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale, inhale, inhale. We take the speed up a little bit. Reach, 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 reach. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach both ends of the body long, lower down, pushing back on the hands. Find a nice child's pose. Deep breath here. Inhale through the nose so the back and sides of the rib cage fill with air. And exhale, let it all out. Deep breath in. And exhale, let it out. Deep breath in here. Exhale, rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Coming back up to that neutral spine. From here, let's go into our side lying leg series. So I'm going to start down on my right side. I'm going to use my bottom arm as my pillow. So I'm going to bend that elbow, drop my head down. My body's in one long line from shoulder to heel. So my hips are stacked, and I'm going to pull the side body up here. So like you're creating a little mouse house, you have a little bit of air, a little bit of light coming through here. Relax the neck down. The top hand goes in front of the body for stability, so you can press that hand into the mat. So keeping those hips stacked and stable, and take that top leg, lift it up to hip height, flex the foot, and lower it down. So point to lift, flex, and lower. Point, lift, flex, lower. So you really want to think about reaching through that leg instead of lifting. So can you lengthen instead of lift? Getting even longer through that leg. I'm going to start to feel the outer thigh, the abductors working here, a little bit of glute. And we lift, flex, and lower. Lift, flex, and lower. Just a few more here. Making sure those hips are stable. That work is coming from the core. 2 more. The last one here. Flex and lower. Let's lift that leg up just a little bit higher this time. Now tap the toes in front of your bottom foot, and then draw an arc and tap behind the bottom foot. So you're drawing like a rainbow with that top leg as it goes forward to tap and back to tap. Now the goal here is to still keep those hips nice and strong and stable. And again, that comes from the core, pulling up and in, ribs closing. We should really start to feel those abductors, the glute turn on here. Only taking that leg as high as you can keep the hips and core stabilized. And reach and tap, and reach and tap. Let's go for 2 more sets. Forward and back, forward and back. Coming back up to center, flex the foot, and lower down. Keeping the legs stacked, let's bend the knees up. So find a tabletop position with the legs. Keeping the feet together, we're still pulling up through that side body. We're gonna go right into our clamshell. So we open and close. Feet are together. Just the top knee opens and closes down. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Now you should really be feeling the side of the glute here, that glute medius. I know I am. Exhale, open. Inhale, close for 2. Exhale, open. Inhale, close for 1. Good. From here, the entire top leg will lift at the same time. So the knee and the foot will lift up and down. Lift and lower, lift and lower. Are we still pulling up through that side body? Let's make sure the ribs aren't collapsing down to the mat. For 2, last one, lift and hold. We're gonna draw this circle with that top leg. So like you're stirring a pot. We stir forward, down, and around. Forward, down, and around. Ooh, starting to really feel that burn here. I hope I'm not alone. For 2, last one, let's reverse. We go back, down and around. Keeping that knee and foot in line if you can. For 2, last one. Ooh, glad that's over. Lower down. Let's roll onto our back. We'll take a quick stretch. So you're gonna take that working leg, we'll take the ankle over the opposite knee and pull that bottom leg in towards you. You can thread one arm through and one arm around, pulling that leg in towards you. Make sure that top ankle is flexed, pulling the toes back to protect the knee. That stretch should feel really nice. If you want a little more, you can take that free hand and press the knee up just a little bit to get a deeper stretch through that outer hip. All right, let's hug those knees in, give it a little wiggle. And let's switch sides here. So just rolling over to that opposite side, we have to do it all over again. So again, you're gonna use that bottom arm as your pillow, stacking that head right onto the elbow. And then the hips are stacked. You want one long line from shoulder to heel. Top hand comes in front to stabilize. And again, you're pulling up through the side body, so you have a little light coming through there. We'll take that top leg, we'll lift it up to hip height, flex the foot, lower down. Lift, flex, and lower. So we're only coming to hip height here so we can keep it nice and controlled, making sure that core is working hard. And again, we're really lengthening through that leg. So instead of thinking about lifting the leg, we're thinking about reaching that leg. Can you get even longer? Lift, flex, and lower. Now we already know what's coming, so you can mentally prepare for the pain that's about to happen here. Last one here, lift, flex, and lower. So we're gonna go to those arches. We're gonna lift up a little higher. We're gonna tap forward of the bottom leg, up through center, and tap behind the bottom leg. So again, like you're drawing a rainbow, we go forward, up, and back. Is that bottom rib still picking up off of the floor? We want to keep that rib picking up so that the core is stabilized, to keep those hips really still. And we tap. Now this side's gonna feel harder because that bottom leg is already fatigued from our other side. But I know you can do it, so keep pushing. Let's go for 2 more sets. Last set here, forward, up, back, back to center, top foot down on top of the bottom foot, bend the knees up. Keep that rib pulling up on the bottom side, knees are in tabletop, feet stay together as you open and close. Open and close. Just that top knee, feet stay together, ribs are still pulling up, the head is relaxed down. Might even be so relaxed that you close your eyes for a minute. But not long, because we're about to get into the big burn here. So let's close the top knee. Lift the entire top leg up. So the knee and the ankle lift and lower. Lift and lower. Should be feeling that glute med. Those abductors should be on fire. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. That core is still playing a role here, so pulling those ribs up. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower for 2. Last one, lift and hold. Draw a circle. We go forward, down, and around like you're stirring a pot. This is where that burn is really going to start to make you feel fatigued. But I know you can get through it, so keep pushing. The last one this direction, let's reverse. Last thing here before we get that stretch. Keep it going. Exhale around. Don't forget about those ribs and the core pulling up and in. And right there with you, I'm feeling the burn for 2. Last one, finally. Good, lower that top leg down. Roll onto your back for that really well-deserved figure 4 stretch. Top ankle crosses over the bottom knee. Pull that bottom leg in towards you. Remember to dorsiflex that top ankle to protect the knee. Pulling that leg in. And let's press that top leg out if you want a little bit more. And then head those knees into the chest rack side to side. Let's rock and roll ourselves all the way up to a seat and get into our planks. So we're gonna turn around. Hands are gonna be right underneath the shoulders. Knees start underneath the hips. Pressing away from the floor, so really pushing up through those shoulders. Let's step 1 foot back to a plank position and then the other foot. Now, if this is too much for you, you're welcome to go onto the forearms. That's always an option. So really pushing away from the floor, ribs are pulling up, tailbone is tucked. You're gonna take one knee, pull it up to the center of the chest and send it back. And switch. So just a little mountain climber. You can take it at your own pace, whatever speed feels good for you. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, send it back. So you're trying to use that low belly to pull the knee in. As those knees pull in, make sure you're not lifting the hips. You want to keep those hips down and not lift the hips up to pull the knee in. You want to use that belly. We're not here for much longer, promise. Keep it going, keep pushing. Exhale in, inhale out for 2 more sets. 1 more on each side. Send it back, push up through those shoulders. Drop the knees, pull back to child's pose. Lovely work. Deep inhale here, drop the forehead down. Exhale, let it out. Inhale, fill up the back and sides of the rib cage up there. And exhale, let it go. 1 more inhale. And exhale, round the spine all the way up. And let's come to a seated position. So we're going to do a little bit of arm work. So I know we've got no props here, but I promise you, you will feel the burn. So seated whatever way you feel comfortable. We're going to start with the palms together and the elbows in. So like you're in a prayer pose, but make sure those elbows are locked in. Dropping the shoulders down, sit up really tall, finding that nice neutral spine. All we're going to do here is exhale to press the fingers to the sky and inhale lower. So you're going to make sure that those hands and the elbows stay glued together. So you're only pressing up as high as you can keep those elbows locked in. So you're going to start to feel those shoulders turn on. Head is in a neutral alignment, neutral cervical spine, neutral lumbar spine, pulling the ribs in, the core still working here. Exhale, press, inhale, lower. So you're really lifting those shoulders up and down, squeezing the palms together, squeezing the elbows together. Are you starting to feel those shoulders turn on yet? I know I am. Exhale, press, inhale, lower. Let's go for 3 more. For 3. And 2. Last one, pull it down, shake out those arms. And let's bring those arms to a letter T or a cactus position. Sorry about that. Drop the shoulders down, sitting up nice and tall. All we're going to do here is cross those arms overhead, keeping the elbows bent, lower down, and cross the opposite direction. And lower. So we're just going to cross and down, cross and down. So those elbows stay bent. We're coming in and out of that cactus position. Neutral spine, ribs are closed. Exhale, reach, inhale down. Exhale, reach, inhale down. So put a little effort into it, contracting those muscles. A little oomph here at the top. Again, those shoulders should start to get a little warm here. Who knew that having no weights could be so hard? Exhale, reach, inhale down. Should we do a few more here? I think so. And reach, and lower, and reach, and lower. Let's do 3 more sets. Sounds like a good number. I swear I was counting. And 2. 1 more in each direction. And release all the way down. Shake out those arms. We've got 1 more thing here. So we're going to take those arms up to the T now, so letter T. Drop the shoulders down. So make sure those shoulders aren't up in the ears. Drop the shoulders down, close the ribs. From here, all we're going to do is have a soft bend in the elbows and pull the arms back behind you and release. So by keeping the ribs closed, our core is strong. And we're squeezing those shoulder blades together. So now exhale, squeeze. So you might feel like we do in that Pilates reformer exercise, the plow, where we're facing backwards, we're pushing the arms back. You might start to feel that same sensation between the shoulder blades. Exhale, reach, and release. Exhale, reach, and release. Let's go for 2. Should feel that back of the body between the shoulder blades here. Release and hold. So arms are out to the side, soft bend in the elbows. Draw a little circle forward, down, and around. So drawing just a nice little circle. Are those shoulders getting fatigued? Mine are. Can you sit up even taller? Drop those shoulders down. Let's pick up the pace here on those circles. Come on, give me all you got here. Are those shoulders getting tired? Keep pushing for 3, 2, 1. Reverse that circle. We go back, down and around. Make sure that core is engaged, stabilizing the body. Arms are getting fatigued. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, shake out those arms. And let's come back. Now that our arms are tired, we're going to do a little bit more of plank work just to make you really feel those shoulders and those arms here. So hands underneath the shoulders and those knees underneath the hips. Again, pressing away from the floor, fingers are wide. Pull the ribs off the floor, and this time we're going to tuck those toes under so you get a nice space here. Taking a deep inhale. On the exhale, press into the hands to lift the knees just an inch or so above the floor. So those knees are just hovering here. The ribs are pulling off the floor. You're lengthening the back of the neck, and we're just going to hold. Isn't this fun? So knees under the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, pushing away from the floor, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel that core turn on. Let's hold it just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees, pull back, child's pose. We're going to do that one more time, and then we'll do another one where we add on. So just preparing you. Let's pull back into that quadruped position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips, pushing away from the floor. Toes tucked, big inhale. Exhale, press into the feet and the hands to lift the knees. So you've got a neutral spine. The ribs are pulling away from the floor. Core is engaged, lengthening the back of the neck. Keep pushing up into those shoulders. I know the arms are tired, but you can do it. Keep pushing up. Try not to sink into the upper body. Just for 8 and 7. Breathe. 6, 5, 4. Keep pushing. 3, 2, and 1. Drop it down. Pull back, child's pose. Deep breaths here. Give those shoulders a little wiggle, a little release. We're going to add on to this next one. Deep breath in. Long exhale out. And let's push back to that quadruped position. So setting up the same way, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, toes tucked. Pushing up through those shoulders, pulling the ribs up, neutral spine, lift the knees and hold. This time we're going to drop one knee down to the mat and lift it up and switch. So just alternating here, the knee and the hip drop down and lift it up. Reaching along through the crown of the head, you're going to start to feel those obliques turn on here. One side and then the other. One side and then the other. Almost there. Can you feel those obliques yet? If not, you can go back and do more. Always an option. For 2 sets here. One more. And guess what? We're going to pick up the pace. So we go down, 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 down. One side and then the other. For 5, 4, 3. Keep pushing away from the floor. 2, 1. Center. Knees drop. Child's pose. I know I tricked you a little bit there with that picking up the pace, but you did great, I'm sure. Deep breath in. And exhale, let it out. One more deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Let's push back up into that quadruped position and just take a nice little cat-cow here. So deep breath in. Exhale, pushing away from the floor. And then inhale. Exhale, press. Inhale, release. 3 more like this. Should feel nice. The last 2. And one more here just to get some movement in that spine. Coming back to neutral. Let's have a seat. We're going to bring the feet right out in front of us. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's reach those arms forward. Tuck the pelvis around halfway back and bring one leg up to tabletop. Slowly lower it down. Exhale, opposite leg lifts. Slowly lower. So just like we started the day, we're in that half-rounded position. You're using your low belly to lift and lower the legs. So I know you can lift that leg from the quad, but can you lift it from the low belly? Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. So you've got this nice scoop position. Ribs are pulling in, arms are reaching, shoulders are drawing down the back. Reach and lower. Just a few more here. The core should be on from those planks that we just did. Last set like this. And from here, let's lift one leg up and hold. Bring the other leg up to meet it. So you've got this nice pre-teaser prep. And let's tap one leg down and up and switch. Down and up. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. So only lower that leg down as far as you can keep those ribs closed and a little roundness in that low back. So you should really be feeling that low belly here. Drop those shoulders down and just caught myself raising my shoulders there. Reach and lift. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Pulling that belly button in, keep that nice roundness in the back. One more on each side. Last one here, lift and hold. One foot down at a time. Roll all the way forward. Sit up tall, hug the knees. Give a little squeeze. Last thing here, let's just take a nice little stretch, turning around. One hand down by your side, opposite arm reaches up and over. Keep those hips anchored. Back up to center. Exhale, reach to the other side. Inhale, come back up, deep breath in. Reach those arms up and overhead. And exhale, let it all out. Great job today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next time. Have a great weekend.